Today I'm going to talk you through a training session, effectively how to train. Today I'm going to paddle my Epic V14. The first and most important thing that you need to do, you need to have commitment. You need to be committed to training regardless of whether it's dark in the morning or cold or even too hot. If you're committed to training, when you see out your goals, you'll enjoy it. So this morning we'd set off for 7 2K efforts. Now the first effort we do is a build-in one, and then we've got 6 efforts to follow. There's 2 minutes rest in each, and you know what? Sometimes getting on in the water when it's a bit darker in the morning makes you appreciate it a bit more. Getting out there with the mob as well is always enjoyable. Sometimes when you're in a big group, you can get frustrated by people sitting on your wash. The most important thing with any training session on how to improve is working on lifting your max average speed. So not concentrating on how fast you can go for the shortest period of time, is how fast you can go for a long time. Now just here in part of this effort, we've had to do a turn. One area I see a lot of people let go is they don't practice the turn. They stop, put their paddle down and just drift around with the rudder. And not for me. I know that I've got to do turns in a race, so I practice it at training. And you can see by the way that I kept paddling, it's made those behind me have to sprint to catch up. I didn't really drop my max speed very much, only just where I slowed down when I turned, and I'm able to keep my rhythm. That way, I don't have to have any big spurts and build up any real lactate that makes you slow down. Lactic acid, that's a thing that's like sand in the pipe. Sand in your blood vessels, that's what slows you down. The more you get erratic with your training, the harder it is to keep going. So being smooth and long and strong and just ticking it along is the perfect way to train, because in the end you'll just pull away. What I'm still working on, because it's over at 2Ks, I'm keeping my hands up. You can see my hands are up around throat height. That's allowing my blade each side to get in close to the boat. Now the Epic V14 is a good boat for me. It's nice and thin at the front. It's got lots of boat runs, so I'm able to get my paddles in nice and close. Using a Brasher S-Min 4, it's a bit smaller than others paddles on the market, but it's letting me keep a great maximum boat speed. And as you can see here, just by ticking it along and letting the boat do all the work and not changing any of my technique, I'm able to drop the other people in my squad. I wasn't worried about them sitting on my wash. I didn't change anything. And you can see that my knees are going up and down, and that's because I'm rotating my whole trunk around. You can look down on the bottom left and right of my sort of hip area or lower stomach, and you can see that I'm rotating. That way, it's allowing me to get plenty of rotation out of the trunk. When you're in your rest, I like to think about what am I going to do in the next effort? How can I improve? But also a bit of banter and get going. Here in this effort, I've made sure I get away to a solid start. I'm not trying to do a sprint start, not like a kayaking 200 metre start. I'm trying to get to my max average speed as quick as I can, one that I want to hold the whole way. Now I accelerate probably about 10 seconds under that. I like to train with pace on my GPS. And in this session, I've been training at about 420 to 425 pace. So I go out about 415 pace and just tick it along. Get the boat up and run nice and quickly so that then it's effortless on the catch. You can see as the blade comes in nice and tight to the boat and I rotate around, then my paddle exits out about the distance of the length of my forearm. By that way, I'm not bucketing up any water and I'm not slowing the boat down. Remember, your ski or kayak or surf ski goes the slowest when your paddle's in the water. So a good clean exit after a good strong catch, the catch being the front of the stroke, will let your ski glide. If your ski glides, you're going to paddle fast every single time. Every now and again I like to look down at my GPS. I don't get consumed by it, but I just have a look at it to see that I'm getting my max average speed. And as you can see, the paddler that's sitting on my wash is just hitting the water and losing that max average speed and just trying to hang on. By me just sipping it along, it's enabling me to get confidence, but also paddle correctly more times. And in the end, if you're paddling a correct, strong paddle stroke, you'll pull away from the other paddlers every time. Keeping the body rotating, shoulders and hips nice and even. When your shoulders and your hips are even, you're using your whole trunk. Keep your head up, blade close to the boat, and your rotation is as long as your stroke takes. After you've done a few efforts, you come towards the end or your last effort. This is not a time to let it all go. This is a time to finish off. Feel proud of your effort, but more importantly, work on your technique. If your technique's good towards the end of the session, you know that you're going to be able to handle it in a race. And throughout this whole video, you'll see that my hands have stayed up. My knees are going up and down at the same rate. I'm using my trunk all the time. And you can see the run just there off the left side of my boat. My Epic V14 is just going through the water. How do I know this is the right boat for me? Because it's not tipping side to side. I'm able to sit nice and even within my boat. I've worked hard and I've kept my max average speed as my one goal throughout the whole session. I have never concentrated on my max speed. So next session you do, go out and work on your max speed. And at the end you can feel proud of your session like I do. So remember, if you're looking for a top quality boat, I recommend the range from Epic. And anytime you need a lesson, please come and see me or any help at Mykayaccoach.com.